Hello, and welcome to Conflict Analysis, Resolution, and Peace Studies lectures. This is the third lecture in a series on narrative praxis and the second one in a series on externalization. This one piggybacks directly off of the other one on externalization, so I would highly recommend watching that one first, if not both. Links to both of them will be in the description. And today, we are talking about giving a more concrete look to externalization. So with me, I have an apple and a bowl. The apple is the issue, and the bowl is one of the stakeholders in the issue, often the person or group that is closely associated with the issue who often feels attacked on it. So see, if you look at this apple in the bowl, you can't really see much of it. If we tip the bowl certain ways, you can see more of the apple, but you can't see all of it. And if we were going to look at the bowl as a personified object, the bowl can only see one part of the apple as well. So what externalization does is it takes the apple out of the bowl so that you can look at the apple from all angles and observe a lot more about it, and the bowl can also observe several different angles of the apple. And this is really good for gaining a better understanding of issues and doing one of the main goals of narrative practice, which is introducing complexity, because you can look at so much more complexity of the apple this way and work on understanding what it is about the problem that helps reproduce that problem and how you can interrupt that. So it's very important to be able to take the apple out of the bowl in your narrative praxis so that you can really work with it in the most productive way. Also, if we wanted to try to work with the apple in the bowl, it's especially not recommended if you're really trying to dissect an issue. Because if you're trying to cut an apple in a bowl, you might chip the bowl. You might injure your relationship with the people that you're trying to work with, because as a narrative practitioner, your relationships with the people can be very important. You don't want to upset anybody or damage anybody to the point where they're not going to participate in the conversation. It's important to let people stop at a certain point. Sarah Cobb, who was one of my professors at the School for Conflict Analysis and Resolution at George Mason University, said she likes to tell people, when you get to a 7, stop. When you get to a 7 on your scale of upsetness, we'll stop and you can go get a coffee or whatever. You can take a break and come back, because once you get to a 7, it's good to take a step back. So working with the apple inside the bowl can get you to a 7 or a chip in the bowl very quickly. So being able to take the apple out, to carve it up different ways and understand it, is very important for the temperature in the room of a discussion as well. So it's good for understanding the problem. It's good for keeping emotions that are probably already running high from running higher. And it helps to not damage their relationships with people in the same way, which can reduce your credibility as a practitioner. If everybody in the group is very upset with you, they're not going to see you as a credible solution to their issue. And especially if they're the ones who invited you in, it can stop your work right there. So always remember to take the problem out of the person, like taking an apple out of a bowl.